So I was asked the other day, how is it that I'm able to train up setters, a killer team setters? And it's all because I use this one simple system, Setter OS. And this is a system that I created fully myself. Because truly, when you have the right training for your setting team, you're able to get results like how I was able in 1 month to get $46,000 closed for one of my clients. Now, the reason I was able to do that is because I onboarded and trained these setters perfectly using this own system that I have built myself. Now I'm going to explain it so you can literally copy and paste this into your own training. Obviously, if you work with me, I place these setters into my clients' businesses and into my clients' accounts so we can get results like that. Now, what is the exact onboarding and Setter OS system that I take them through? So first off is the onboarding system itself. I get them on a call, and then from there we go through a 3-week training phase where I teach them everything. I want them to know that offer like it's their own. So once they know that offer, we go through some role play. So once they role play, and they role play directly with me and others in the DMs, so they can get a feel and I can get a feel to make sure they're following the KPIs, the SOPs, following the scripts, and it all to make sure they're actually qualified. After that, they get into a 14-day, I call the drive process, where they compete with 3 other setters, and they're all competing with each other. And whoever books the most calls in that 14 days gets a full on-time position with us, where then we can place into an offer set needed. This is the entire system right here. So this is Setter OS. The first thing is finding leads. You don't need to know that. The first big thing is the qualification process. You can screenshot anything that you need, but basically for outbound leads, you need to use these 3-point checklist before sending any message. You need to have this checklist that I give them personally on the docs. So you need to check following count. You need to check their content, their volume, their bio, their LinkedIn bio, get a feel of their offer, get a feel of their funnel, get a feel of any wins or proof that they have, and then put them directly into one of these 3 tiers: early, building, growing, and established. From there, we can kind of route them into the right offer based in for them. And a lot of people, when they get on the call, they don't buy. And this is actually the reason, this one process right here, the qualification process. If your setter doesn't know how to qualify correctly, they're leaving money on the table, because at this point in this day and age, when someone gets on a sales call, it shouldn't be, oh, let's spend 45 minutes trying to sell you something. It should be, they already have their credit card out. All the objections are handled, and they are already qualified and ready to work with you. The next step is the opening message. Now, I have full docs and I have full templates that I give them. Obviously, I'm not going to give you that fully on here. But basically, the opening message is you want to find something that you can reference in that first message, right? You want to have that personalized opener and reference something from their profile that you have seen. That's why that qualification in the beginning process is also really, really helpful. And you want to end that with an open-ended question. So they go down your funnel. Let's say they get a freebie, they get this opening message, and you want to end that with an open-ended question. Now from there, you can kind of problem identify, figure out their problem, figure out their needs, and really dig into if they've worked with other people in the past, if they need help with different things. That's really, really where you want to get into play here. Now, the next thing is the follow-up. The follow-up is super, super important. First type of follow-up is the opener follow-up. And this is when they never replied to your first message. And this is basically simple docs that I give them, and they just kind of script by script that. Next type is mid-conversation. Now, this is a type that not a lot of people talk about, but it's extremely important. I bet one of you have witnessed this with your account, where you're talking to someone and they just ghost you, right? You're talking to them and then they don't ever say another word to you. And this is how we have scripts, so we can re-engage them without sounding desperate, because that's the last thing you want to do. So both types are tough, but I have the docs ready for them, the examples, and basically I always tell the setters to write it in the voice of the person. So you never want your setter to be telling the person that they're a setter. You want them to feel like it's one-on-one with whoever you are on that account, the face of that brand. You want to make it seem like they're talking to them. The next is the nurturing part. And this is actually building the conversation, right? You want to start a real conversation with them, not just sell right away. You want to ask real questions, respond to their answers. You don't want it to be like an interview. You want to get 5 back and forth messages. That's what's worked for us, and I've actually tested many different ones. Transitioning into the booking the call earlier, transitioning to booking the call later. About 5 back and forth messages is the best way to go. You want to warm them up first and then try to sell them something. You want to really give them free value and then feel like you're rooting them in the right direction with your offer, okay? You want to have quality over anything else. So I have a doc here that they can reference, the questions doc. And these are perfect questions to qualify, figure out their real problem, just regular questions, different openers, different responses, all of that. The next part is the booking the call. This is where a lot of people fall behind. You want this booking the call part to be very, very nonchalant, not a big deal. You want to act like the call is just free value or it's no big deal, right? So you can see here, would it be cool if I sent over my Calendly? You want to ask permission. You don't want to just be like, here's my Calendly. You always want to ask permission. A lot of times they're not going to say, oh yeah, no, I don't want you. They might say, oh, not really looking for anything right now. And then from there, we also have docs on how to overcome those objections on the DMs. As you can see there, you don't want to ghost after sending the Calendly. Make sure they actually book. Follow up every single day until that call, which is leading me to the post-booking process, right? This is after they've already booked, and you want to follow up every single day. So the night before, you can see this whole entire sequence. I'm not going to tell you the entire thing, but this is basically everything that you need to train up your setters. This is exactly what I go through. I go through every single setter one-on-one. I don't let them pass anything. I do have someone who trains them up in the beginning, but I always get on a call and show them this, and then we go through all of that, all of the onboarding, everything. So that is really how you can train up a setting team to produce the results, $40,000, $50,000 months. And also it tracks your analytics. So this SetterOS system tracks every single analytic. So this is me personally. And when you have everything organized, you know everything, you have the best in the game, no one's going to beat you. So we really do have an advantage over our competitors just because of this one system. I mean, it's really, really chill. So that's all I wanted to say.